Guys, this season of ReZero has been one hell of a ride. Look, I know I said some stuff about ReZero not being the best anime of all time, but once this season got warmed up, man, it really took off. This is probably my favorite arc of the entire series so far, because for the first time, there is no clear-cut path to victory for Subaru. Previous arcs had Subaru dealing with one major problem and a few minor problems. Whereas for this arc, everything is on fire. However, I think the main reason why Subaru keeps failing is because there is an imposter in their group. So let's take some time today to talk about just how bad the situation is and theorize on who that imposter may be. First though, a huge thank you to the sponsor of this week's video, Guardian Tales. Guardian Tales is probably one of the coolest mobile games I've ever played. It's an action-adventure RPG with this cool pixel art style. You have tons of characters to choose from, and if you're a returning player, there is a whole new world along with a new 3-star hero. If you want to play, make sure you guys click the link in the description. It's actually a perfect time to jump in because a free summons event just started where you guys get 10 free summons a day. So make sure you guys go check out Guardian Tales by clicking the link in the description and downloading the game for free. So basically, like I was saying, this arc is a lot different from the previous arcs of ReZero because for once, it feels like there are multiple huge problems at play at the same time. For instance, the closest arc to this would have to be the White Whale arc because Subaru was dealing with both the Son of Sloth and the White Whale in that arc. But he was able to separate both problems out spatially and time-wise. In the end, they were able to kill the White Whale, then make a run to Betelgeuse and kill him as well. Or actually, I think it was the other way around, but you get my point. This arc here isn't as kind. After all, and don't quote me on this, but I think this is the most time Subaru has died trying to fix a problem, and honestly, at this rate, I feel like an answer to his problem is still out of sight. So here is the issue. Amelia and a large part of their village is stuck inside the barrier, and the only way out is by having a mixed-blooded creature complete the 3 trials. In other words, the only person who can really do it is Amelia. But of course, Akidana, the Witch of Greed, takes a liking to Subaru and gives him the ability to do the trials as well. Subaru completes the first trial with relative ease and sets his checkpoint for right after he wakes up. I love how I said he sets a checkpoint like he even gets to choose. So the first major issue that Subaru discovers is that once they return back to the mansion, the assassin from season 1 that no one bothered to remember the name of came back and slaughtered everyone, including Subaru. So yeah, that's kind of bad. The second major problem that occurs is that if Subaru just makes a mad dash to escape, Garfield will go rabid and kill everyone, including Subaru. The third major problem is that if Subaru makes a deal with Garfield to escape early, freaking Amelia goes mad from loneliness and turns into a complete monster. Fourth major problem. If Subaru reads too much into the situation and puts Roswell on the spot, Roswell makes Amelia go mad and voila, everyone's dead again. And of course, finally, the rabbits from Monty Python will murder everybody if they take too long. So yeah, there's a lot of huge problems that Subaru is going to have to deal with. So let's say that's going to be quite a challenge. So far, there are still quite a few unanswered questions. The first and most prominent one being, who is the Secret Traitor? I've come to the conclusion that there is someone who is secretly working against Subaru that he hasn't picked up on yet. I originally thought it was Roswell, and although I'm not completely wrong in the thought that Roswell is evil, he isn't actually the one sabotaging Subaru. You see, whoever it is, it's the person who's destroying the letters that Subaru leaves each time. We've confirmed that each time that Subaru makes a break for it, the letter left for Amelia never reaches her. We know it's not Roswell because Subaru brings it up to him and we see him genuinely caught off guard by the question. We also know it's not Ryuza because in one of the arcs where Subaru takes control of her was also one of the arcs where the letter doesn't reach Amelia. So who are the possible culprits? I think there are 3 main possibilities. There's Ram, there's Garfield, And then there's Otto. I think Ram is the most easily dismissed out of the three. There is genuinely no motive behind why she would hold back that kind of information. It seems self-destructive, and the only reason I would expect her to withhold the information is if Roswell ordered her to, which we know he didn't. Which leads me to Garfield. You see, Garfield seems like the most likely subject to be withholding information from Amelia to push her to the limits. We've seen in multiple iterations how flip-floppy he is on the squad, sometimes sacrificing himself to save them, and other times being the one that murders everyone. But I feel like the show is very intentionally pointing a lot of arrows at him. To me, it feels like the show is saying that he is the secret traitor and that he's the one who's been destroying the messages to Amelia, which immediately makes me think, okay, so yeah, it's not this guy. Not to mention, I feel like that's something a really intelligent person who's secretly working against Subaru would do. And let's be honest with each other, it's pretty clearly established that Garfield isn't exactly the brightest half dog out there. To me, this all seems like simple misdirection. Leading me to the person who I think is actually the culprit. Otto. I know, this seems like some crazy conspiracy, but the whole anime is about conspiracies and freaking cults, so it's not like this is coming out of left field. First, let's establish some things that may make you think that Otto isn't secretly evil. First off, so far, we've only seen Otto save Subaru. Otto has never done anything out of character in that sense. I mean, he put his life at risk to help Subaru escape, and has even called Subaru his friend. But when you think about it, that's kind of all there is to him. Sure, he helps Subaru move stuff and drives their carriage, but like, for some odd reason, it feels like Otto is putting himself in dangerous situations simply to stay by Subaru's side. I know some of you might think that's simply him trying to be a good friend, but I think there's something more there. Also, Otto has been getting a lot more screen time recently, and all of it is Otto doing his best to help Subaru, which makes him feel really sus. It feels kind of like the show is trying to have us build up trust for him. However, and here is the big red flag with Otto. Otto is one of the few people who knows about Subaru's letter, and every single time, the letter never makes it to Amelia. Either Otto gets killed off the second Subaru is off screen in these scenes, or he is doing his best to make sure Amelia transforms into a monster. Here is my theory, and feel free to put on your tinfoil hats for this one. I think that Otto has been secretly undercover this whole time. He's either secretly part of the witch's cult, or is also working for Ekidana. Do keep in mind, Ekidana did specify that she's had other people to her tea parties before. There's no reason why Otto couldn't be one of those people. I feel like the reason he protects Subaru and even puts his own life on the line is because he wants Amelia to turn into a monster and to have her and Subaru be together. I mean, after all, that's what most of the people who are part of the witch's cult want. They want to follow the witch's will, and Subaru is absolutely what she wants. Then again, all that stuff is just theory crafting. I actually haven't watched the new episode yet. Hopefully they don't reveal who it is, and if they do, hopefully it's Otto, because I could be completely wrong. I'm sure there's stuff in the manga. I know I'm gonna get 1,000 comments. Well, actually, in the manga, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking anime only, okay, guys? All right. I don't have time to read the manga. I got a life outside of anime. I'm sorry, guys. Speaking of imposters, I've actually been playing a ton of Among Us lately. I've been streaming it on Twitch. I mean, I don't stream a ton. I try to stream like at least 2 to 3 times a week. So make sure you guys follow me on twitch.tv/ManimeMatt if you want to see me streaming some Among Us. I'm also, let me see, it's Genshin Impact. I'm downloading Genshin Impact. The game looks amazing, dude. I've seen and heard nothing but good things about this game, and I'm desperate to play it. Hopefully my PC can handle it, and if it can, I'm gonna stream it. So come hang out with me while I try to figure that game out. And also a huge thing to our sponsor, Guardian Tales, really friendly guys. I've worked with the company that got me the sponsorship a couple of times. They're super friendly. I always like working with them. And this game is actually really cool. I felt really Zelda-esque, so make sure you guys go download it. I'll have the link in the description. It'll also be like a pinned comment too, so just keep an eye out for that. Either way, a huge thank you to my patrons. You guys are my heroes. Please make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Manime Matt. Make sure you guys stay man and go watch that goddamn anime.